Today we are going to play with our Hello Sunshine stamp set. So this is the stamp set. It's one of our newer ones. It's got lots of fun stuff in it. It's got a nice big sunflower. Our sunflowers are really big right now. Here's a couple cards that we had done. I've written down some measurements and stuff, and so get a pencil ready so you can make your own little template. And even if you just pull out some of your scrap papers just to cut along with me, then you'll have that template to use later when you have more time. This card that we're going to do is using our new paper collection, which is the Everything is Blooming collection. It's just a scrap of it with the sunflowers. Anyway, so that's what we're going to use today. That's the first piece, and then we're going to score it. I'm just going to give you these measurements first so you can be writing them down. We're going to score at 1 inch, 2 inch, 7.5, and 8.5. And then you're going to cut some more pieces. Again, this is just, I'm going to move these out of the way, but I want you to have time to write them down. We're going to have a small piece that's 2 1/4 by 3 1/4, and you're going to cut this twice. Then you have one that's 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you want 2 of those. And then you have another piece that's 3 by 3, and you want 2 of those. I'm going to use our colored, just a nice base cardstock, our dark green. Okay, so with this piece, there's your 9.5 by 4 1/4. Then you're gonna zigzag these. So I wrote it down here. We want mountain, valley, valley, mountain. So the first one, you're gonna fold it in, and then this piece folds back on itself. So you're making a zigzag. And then the other side, you're gonna fold it and fold it back on itself. So when this card folds down, it's gonna be an A2 size card. So this is the main base. And then we're going to cut the corners of this. This measurement here, where's a pen? This right here is 1/2 inch deep. So you're going to take my cutter, and I'm going to put this at 1/2 inch. So I'm lining it up right here at 1/2 inch. And I want to cut, I'm just going to use a pen so you guys can see this. I'm going to cut the outside. I'm going to cut along here to the first fold, and then you're going to angle this and go from that fold line to this corner. So this is what we're going to cut out. You could take scissors if you want to just do it with scissors, or use your cutter. So I'm going to go from there, and while it's positioned, I can go ahead and cut there. I'm going to rotate that, cut there, and if you need your little scissors to finish that off, you can. So this becomes your base. Then you've got the 3 inch by 3 inch piece. Get my smaller scoreboard out for this one. All right. Then you've got this 3 inch by 3 inch, and you're going to score it at 1 inch and 2 inch, and you're going to do it twice. And you're going to zigzag this. Okay, you need 2 of these. This zigzag, if it's going to go, we want it to zigzag out, pull out like this. That means on the first panel on the back, we're going to put glue. We're going to glue that right on this piece, on this flap. So on my 3 by 3 inch square, I'm going to put glue here. I'm going to put glue and line it up there. Okay, now we're just extending our base. Now we want to do this one, and we want to make sure it goes out that way, so we're going to put our glue here. Now we have our base. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut the rest of our pieces. We're using, again, our Everything is Blue and paper collection. I used some gold to really jazz this up a little bit. So I just did a couple rectangles in the center. Okay, and then we're just going to center this in here. All right, this we're going to stamp a sentiment on, but I'm going to go ahead and assemble this first and we'll come back to this piece. So our next two rectangles, actually I should show you these. All right, this is the 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, these two rectangles, and then I just did a 1/4 of an inch shorter to give you the layers for it. So that's what this is. And then here's the ones this is what I did for the smaller piece. Again, I just layered some extra decorative pieces on that. All right, now we're going to attach these pieces to this third panel. Glue it right there. Okay. So when you position this, you're going to go right to the edge, but you don't want to cover up the fold. So I kind of tucked it in so I knew I wasn't overlapping the score line, because otherwise it's not going to tuck in there very good. So there's my first piece. Let's do the other side. Okay, and I'm going to tuck this in. Just make sure you're not covering up the fold. And as I'm doing it, I'm making sure it's lined up along the bottom. All right, then we have our next one, and we want this to be able to fold out. So it's going to go on this outside piece. So I'm just going to put the glue right here on this panel. Again, that's the very last panel. And I'm just going to lay this flat. Go right to the corner, the bottom corner. While it's still wet, just fold it down, make sure it's lined up right. Okay. And one more. Oh, this is so cute. All right, so here we go. That's the main piece. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment on the inside. All right. Yeah, our chocolate brown, I just think it's a nice deep brown I like to use for a lot of things. Our black and brown are hybrid, so they will work with your Copic markers and won't, or your alcohol markers, and they won't bleed, which is nice. And we'll just center that in there. There's two ways we can do this next step. We can, for this one, I was going to go ahead and add a flower to each side, like this. But before I do that, I want to show you another option, and that is to make a belly band. So a belly band with this, you would take, again, this is an A2 size card. I just chopped about, what is this, about 1.5 inches off the top of one of our papers. This is our Midnight Garden paper. So we're going to make a belly band, and so to size it right, I just flipped this whole thing over and kind of line it up and fold it around. Now, You're going to crease this, but you need to give it a little room to be able to get this in and out. So that's kind of tight right there. So now I'm going to back it up just a little bit and give it another little crease. Actually, maybe even a little bit more. I want it to be fairly easy to take off. All right, and then I'm just going to put some glue here. Easy to come off. See, it slides off pretty good. All right. And then with that piece, now I can just, again, slide it in. Make sure it's going to slide in okay. So once you've taken it off the first time, it's a little harder to get on. So that's why I want you to make sure you leave a little extra room. Then I did a little square and used the gold again. And I'm going to glue that right on there. Okay. And then I took this, popped up the sunflower and put it right like that. So a very cute way to do a belly band on this kind of card, which is really fun because then when you slide it off, it just all pops up and then you can open it like this. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to add the flowers to these flaps. You could just do it separate like this, but I kind of wanted to bring them together and overlap them a little bit. So with that in mind, I want this flower to hang off the edge. So I'm just gonna kind of draw a little line there, and then I can take it and I'm gonna put foam tape on this because I want it to pop up a little. Okay, so now I have this, there. All right, and then this one, it just hangs over a little bit. So kind of a fun look, and there's your card. So then when they pull it out of the envelope, it'll start popping up, and then it can stand up like that on their desk. So here is a couple other cards, just so you can see what else you can do with this stamp set. See, there's the bees. I think it's really cute, and heartfelt sympathy. And then we have another one. Here is You Are My Sunshine. You can really see the little dies for the little words. All of this is using that same paper collection, so I think that's kind of fun too. So that is using our Hello Sunshine stamp set. I hope you guys find some time to get creative this week. Share with us your projects in our artsy community. Again, have an awesome week, and I dare you to be artsy. Bye.